Welcome back, Nick and Lex here. Thank you so much for joining me to another episode of Music with Nick. Today we got a marathon lined up. I'm super excited of Yusuf, also formerly known as Cat Stevens. So yeah, we have some really interesting songs. I do want to thank, of course, the requester, which in this case is Tao of Nature. Thank you so much. It has been a while since we've seen Tao of Nature on the channel. I don't look at all the comments. I try to, but he has been well, not as active, I guess, as before. But welcome back. Thank you so much for putting in another request. Your requests are always very welcome. I just see like a pattern in all you guys. Everybody has their style of requesting a song, so I'm very excited to do this. Okay, so Tao of Nature, thank you for sponsoring the video, of course, for making it happen. Here are the songs that we're gonna cover today, that we're gonna react to. So first one is Kathmandu by Yusuf / Cat Stevens. This is from the album Mona Bon Yakon. This is from 1970. All right. Then we're gonna do Into White. This is for T for the Tillerman. I think this is the first album that I ever heard that my mom played to me. I think with Wild World, that was the one where I was like, okay, because that one I think got a lot of radio play and is amongst the most famous songs. I mean, it is only 493 million views on Spotify. That's crazy. So yeah, I guess definitely one of his most famous tracks. But this is then Changes 4. That's the teaser and the Firecat. This is also very I think I heard this album when I was smaller. I think this one no, maybe not, because the one that I talk about is Where Do the Children Play. This is from 1971, Teaser and the Firecat. This is the remastered, by the way. Let's see if this is on the Where Do the Children Play. Oh, this is on the T for the Tillerman album. Okay. Then we're gonna do Oh Very Young from Buddha and the Chocolate Box. This is from 74. And then we're gonna finish it off with the newest album, And Other Cup. This is from the long hiatus that he took. Actually, Tao gave me some notes that I want to respect here. Give me 1 second. There is a little bit let's see. Basically this is from me, but it says here, Cat Stevens had another brush with death when he nearly drowned off the coast in Malibu, California, after offering to dedicate himself to God's service. If God would save, oh, I don't know, give me a second, himself to God's service. If God would save him from drowning, a wave appeared that carried him back to shore. Soon afterwards, he converted to Islam, taking the name of Yusuf Islam, and gave up the music business. 25 years after retiring from music, he released a new album. This one that we're going to do, the last one, And Another Cup, under the name Yusuf. Here's a cut from that album. So thank you so much, Tao, for all the explanation. I did read it, but I just want to, keep it shorter for you guys, for the intro. Okay, so now I'm done with my intro. Gonna get ready for the reaction. All right, and here we go. I've always loved Cat Stevens. Like, he's been always a huge inspiration whenever I grab my acoustic guitar. Nylon strings or steel, it's just like he has such a beautiful style, and it's more about the singing. It's not very complex chord work, but it's just to grab the guitar and sing along. It's very challenging at first, and it's just beautiful, you know. And with lyrics like his, I mean, you can't go wrong. So, Kathmandu is first. Here we go, and thank you again so much, Tower. Here we go.
I sit beside the dock, beneath the mire, cold, grey, dusty day, the morning lake drinks up the sky. Kathmandu, I'll soon be seeing you, and your strange, bewildering time will hold me down. Chop me some broken wood, we'll start a fire, white, warm, light the dawn, and help me see old Satan's tree. Kathmandu, I'll soon be touching you, and your strange, bewildering time will hold me down.
That bass.
Pass me my hat and coat, lock up the cabin, slow night, treat me right until I go. Be nice to know. Kathmandu, I'll soon be seeing you, and your strange, bewildering time will keep me home.
Beautifully played, man. Oh man, like you can hear that it was just one take. I mean, there was a little bit of the bass that would dissipate. I love that, because he was doing a lot of finger style, you know. He was doing a lot of accents and stuff, and beautiful, just beautifully performed. The voice and just his playing is so good. Actually more complex than I remember, because he does play a lot of fingerstyle, and it can get pretty challenging sometimes, depending on what you want to, how you want to break down those chords. You know, if you want to like, he didn't just like let them ring; he was actually playing, you know, all these kind of accents there, and really cool. I love the flute that came in. Like I said, the bass would just take over a couple of, you know, of the section of the song, and just the singing beautiful, and the lyrics as well. Just very serene as always. When I listen to Cat Stevens, it's always very relaxing. It's just like his demeanor is very positive, and you can see that in the documentary when people interview him. He's just such a calm personality, you know. So great artist. And yeah, I mean, that decision that he made, like, if you save me, then I'm going to dedicate my life. That's powerful. I love it. Okay, now this is, I think, one of the most famous albums, like the T for the Tillerman, but we're going to do Into White, which is, I think I've never heard, but let's give this one a spin, and let's see what he does here.
I built my house from barley rice, green pepper walls and water ice, tables of paper wood, windows of light, and everything emptying into white. Simple garden with acres of sky, a brown-haired dog mouse, if one drop by. Yellow Delaney would sleep well at night, with everything emptying into white.
Beautiful, beautiful violin, beautiful harmony, and his voice. I love how when it goes so deep, and it's just like it literally feels like a blanket, when you listen to this music. And I love the lyrics here, how he describes just such a simple life, how some people are so happy, with acres of sky, like with the little things that we take for granted. It's like something that Alexia always does. She's always sitting at the window and standing at the window looking at the mountains and at the sun. And I'm like, what are you looking at? And she's like, I'm looking at the sunset, I'm I'm thankful for the sunset. And I'm like, wow, that kind of stuff. It's those little things that we overlook in life. There's a lot of beautiful things that we don't look at because we want certain things. And I'm not saying you should be like, oh, I'm gonna get rid of everything and I don't want anything anymore. But sometimes it's very nice to get into that zone where you think, hey, I'm really happy with what I've got. I'm really grateful. Yeah, I mean, that's just some lessons that I've learned, especially from Alexia and my mom before Alexia. I think that's why when I met Alexia, I was so drawn to her, because she was so awoken already, like in that mentality, that you don't need everything. Let's go back to the song.
A sad blue-eyed drummer rehearses outside, a black spider dancing on top of his eye. Red-legged chicken stands ready to strike, and everything emptying into white. I I built my house from barley rice, green pepper walls and water ice. And everything emptying into wine.
Beautiful. So beautiful. What I loved about Cat Stevens, or I mean now as his name is Yusuf, and I'll respect that. In the documentary, there was this part where he says, "Yeah, I totally banned musical instruments from my house, and there was no music." And then one day, my son, like, I came back, and there was a guitar in my bed, and he was like, what is this guitar doing here? And it was his son, and then he was like, it's time, it's time to play again. So that is like, whoa, that's so beautiful that your children inspire you to do beautiful things, and to because imagine his kids were like, who is this Cat Stevens character? My father was a totally different man, and then his beautiful music, and I really want him to do that again, so that's a beautiful thing, beautiful story. Okay, now we're gonna do changes 4 from Teaser and the Fire Cat. But the beautiful thing about Cat Stevens is like literally every song is just beautiful. Like, it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. They're short and sweet, but they're wonderful. Yeah.
Don't you feel a change coming from another side of time? Breaking down the walls of silence, lifting shadows from your mind, placing back the missing mirrors that before you couldn't find, filling mysteries of emptiness that yesterday left behind. And we all know it's better. Yesterday passed. Now let's all start living for the one that's going to last. Yes, we all know it's better. Yesterday passed. Now let's all start living for the one that's going to last. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Don't you feel the day is coming that will stay and remain when your children see the answer that you saw the same? When the clouds have all gone, there will be no more rain, and the beauty of all things is uncovered again. And we all know it's better. And yesterday passed. Now let's all start living for the one that's going to last. Yes, we all know it's better. And yesterday passed. Now let's all start living for the one that's going to last. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Don't you feel the day is coming, and it won't be too soon, when the people of the world can all live in one room? That's when we shake off the ancient chains of our two. We will all be born again of the eternal womb. And we all know it's better. Yesterday's past. Now let's all start living for the
love that one. That was totally different. I've never really heard a Yusuf song with drums, you know. Whoa, 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 dum, dum, ba-dum, ba-dum, bum, bum, bum. Beautiful, man. Beautifully played. A lot of instruments. Like I think I heard a shaker. I'm always playing with the shaker. But yeah, I think this was very, very cool. A little bit more on the uplifting side. I mean, a lot of Cat Stevens songs are very mellow, almost like a thinking piece, you know, to reflect on just on your life or take it as you want it. It's his expression, but I think they're very interesting to compare, and it's just a very positive outpour of ideas, like what Cat Steven sings and plays, and the music is always very happy. I mean, it can also be very sad, but you know, it's a positive thing. So I did like that one because it did have drums, and it was a little louder, a little bit more faster, you know. So I did like that one. Okay, now this was, when was this? Because 71. So 1970, he stuck to, you know, more acoustic, violins, flutes. This is with drums. Now this is from 74. Okay, this is a little bit, maybe a little bit, I don't know. Let's just see. This is Buddha and the Chocolate Box. Oh, very young. Here we go.
Oh, very young, what will you leave us this time? You're only dancing on this earth for a short while. And though your dreams may toss and turn you now, they will vanish away like your daddy's best jeans, denim blue, fading up to the sky. And though you want them to last forever, you know we never will. You know we never will. And the patches make the goodbye harder still. Oh, very young, what will you leave us this time? There'll never be a better chance to change your mind. And if you want this world to see better days, will you carry the words of love with you? Will you ride the great white bird into heaven? And though you want to last forever, you know you never will. You know you never will. Goodbye makes the journey harder still. What will you leave us this time? You're only dancing on this earth for a short while. Oh, very young, what will you leave us this time?
Yeah, so true. The life is very short. Unfortunately, it is very long. I mean, for us humans, I guess. Then when we look back when we're older, it's very short. But I think childhood is like so long. It takes forever. I remember just I think from when I was born, and I do have this memory when I was very, very young, which is crazy, and I can see it as clear as day. when that happened. I think it was the first time I watched TV, and I just see basically like a light, and I was like still a baby, and my mom, I think, was showing my older brother a cartoon, and it's called in Germany it's very famous. It's called the um the bee Maya. And I think it's German. If not, then I apologize. But that's the first thing that I ever watched, and I think I was maybe 8 months old, and I was just, because I was in the room, I wasn't, like, my mom was not encouraging us to watch TV. Actually, we had very TV time was maybe like, I think 1 hour a week for the longest time. And I'm very happy that it was so. There was more music being played at the house, um, a lot of classical music, and that was more. And we were, you know, basically always. It was always about like read a book or play or go outside, But TV was just not a big thing. But I do remember that first time when I watched TV, and that from that moment on, when I was like 7 months old until I was like 6 years old, that is like 80 years. Like literally, that took so long. And then from being like this kid to being a teenager was another 50 years in time. That's how long it felt. I think time started moving faster like the mid 20s, when I look back. And I always look back to when I was 22 because I see it so clear on my 22nd birthday. um I was with my mom, and it was kind of like a sad birthday because there was no one who came to that birthday. It was just my mom and I. So I guess, yeah, that was a memory. But it also took so long from that birthday to now, and so time, you know. But yeah, it's true that we only dance on the earth for a short time. It is true. Okay, so now we have arrived at this newer album, and I mean new, it's from 2006, but it is, it is a different Yusuf, a different Cat Stevens after a long hiatus from music. Let's see how he changed, if he changed at all.
I have dreamt of a place and time where nobody gets annoyed. But I must admit, I'm not there yet. But something's keeping me going. Maybe there's a world that I'm still to find. Maybe there's a world that I'm still to find. Open up a world and let me in. Then there'll be a new life to begin. I have dreamt of an open world, borderless and wide, where the people move from place to place and nobody's taking sides. Maybe there's a world that I'm still to find. Maybe there's a world that I'm still to find. Open up a world and let me in. Then there'll be a new life to begin. I've been waiting for that moment to arrive. All at once the palace of peace will fill my eyes. How nice. Maybe there's a world that I'm still to find. Maybe there's a world that I'm still to find. Open up a world and let me in. Then there'll be a new life to begin. I've been waiting for that moment to arrive. All at once the wrongs of the world will be put right. How nice.
He didn't change at all. He's the same guy, and same beautiful way of composing and singing. And I think the only thing that changed is the technology to capture the music. Beautiful. I was just looking, I'm sorry, I got a little bit distracted, but I was looking at all the albums he had done up to that point, and then in 1978 he did Just Stop. Yeah. And then he did and Another Cop, Road Singer in 2009, and then Tell Him I'm Gone 2014, and then I think The Laughing Apple. This is from 2017, and so far he hasn't done anything. These are all remasters of his albums that are here in 2020 and 2022. But I wanted to do another one because the time is still a little bit short, and I didn't want to do Wild World because I've heard it before. So I thought, why don't we do one that's also pretty big, and it's just a very touchy subject for me. Like, it's called Father and Son, and I just want to know what he sings. I unfortunately always had a very tumultuous relationship with my father. I think he was too old to have kids, and and I'm the only child of his, and my mom. So my other my brothers are from her prior marriage, but for me, obviously, there is never a word like half brother or stupid things like that. But I mean, it's just something that is a reality. I always wanted, a smaller brother, but I never got one. And but I always knew how to, like, I always had my brothers around. Well, my middle brother, that you guys know of, and he was a good kid, and he's now the man he is, and he decides to be. And I do love him and everything. But my father and we just had, I don't know, it was never really harmonious, and there's no memories of ever being playing ever, not even once. So it's sad, it's a sad memory, and unfortunately that's the way it was. But my mom was pretty much making up, for that, so I have nothing but good memories of my mother. Okay, but I just wanted to listen to this one because it is up. It's basically the second most popular song. So I want to see what he thinks about his father. Or maybe he's the father and the son is his son. Let's go with this one here.
It's not time to make a change. Just relax, take it easy. You're still young, that's your fault. There's so much you have to know. Find a girl, settle down, If you want, you can marry. Look at me. I am old, but I'm happy. I was once like you are now, and I know that it's not easy to be calm when you found something going on. But take your time, think a lot. Why, think of everything you've got, for you will still be here tomorrow, but your dreams may not. How can I try to explain? 'Cause when I do, he turns away again. It's always been the same old story. From the moment I could talk, I was ordered to listen. Now there's a way, and I know that I have to go away. I know I have to go. It's not time to make a change. Just sit down, take it slowly. You're still young, that's your fault. There's so much you have to go through. Find a girl, settle down. If you want, you can marry. Look at me, I am old, but I'm happy. That I've cried, keeping all the things I knew inside. It's hard, but it's harder to ignore it. If they were right, I'd agree, but it's them they know, not me. Now there's a way, and I know that I have to go away. I know I have to go.
I like it. Yeah. Yeah. So my dad, I guess, I mean, we did have some discussions, and once I got older, I think there were some, positive little sit downs, but I don't really remember too many because my dad unfortunately did suffer with alcohol. But the funny part is about that he did quit drinking my entire youth and childhood. He was basically depressed because he did not drink anymore. So he stopped before I was born. And then his entire life was just like meaningless to him. So I think he never found the way to reach to a child and be that dad like who's on the floor playing with his son or with his child. And then I think once I got into my teens, he started to drink again, and that's when he would like kind of like say, hey, come over here. But by that time I was already very estranged. Like I was like, I don't really know this man, and that's the time when we moved to Mexico, and then he basically left my mom, so that's just stuff that you're like, how can you respect someone who just like leaves your mother, for somebody else? So that's just difficult things, I guess. And but yeah, there were moments that I do appreciate very much that happened. Him teaching me about music, appreciation, like jazz, and but we never talked about women or like what to do or what direction to go into. So it was just difficult. But yeah, that's, I mean, I could write an entire book of what happened in Mexico. It's quite a journey. Like I've told Alexia, and she's like, you have to write a book. It's like this. Um, there was a lot of heartache and a lot of difficulty. But hey, here I am. You know, I don't drink. I haven't had a drink in like I don't know, like since I was in my early 20s. I just said no, I don't want to do this, I don't want to be like my father. So that's the main reason I never continued, not because I had a problem with it. But yeah, it's just decisions that you take very early on, thankfully. And also with drugs and stuff like that. But well, now I'm getting totally off course here. But I do love to share. Um, but I think those where the lives are, I guess, the best ones, the most where we can just talk. And the other day, someone had this idea we could maybe do like a live chat where we listen to music, even though maybe YouTube might take it down, but we could find maybe another spot where we could just have a little party and listen to music together and comment and listen to songs and and react to in the moment, and then have you guys in the chat and talk, and that would be wonderful. But thank you again so much, Tao of Nature, for this beautiful experience with Yusuf, Mr. Cat Stevens. He's just such a great musician and composer, and it's like very humbling, to hear someone play music that's not so difficult, that's not so demanding. You don't have to be 8 hours practicing to come up with a beautiful song, so, and that's like the humbling experience that I get. Is like, what am I doing sometimes? But I just love to experiment with music, and that's why I love to practice and sit there and figure out everything. So I guess that's just who I am. But hey, thank you again, everybody, for watching. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening. Thank you again for the marathon request, and thanks for watching. Catch you guys in the next video. Take care.